Hello, Governor. This is Steve, nupefromdaville, and I'm here to talk to you about Doctor Who, Season 10, Episode 3, Thin Ice. First, let me tell you a little story. When I was in the military, we used to have this guy that would always be on base, and he was in a wheelchair. He only had one leg. And he would always be around the mess hall, which is cafeteria. He never really bothered anybody, and some of the other soldiers would give him shit. I don't know why they mess with him. He looked like a homeless dude, but we knew that there was no way that he could be a homeless dude and be on base. Like, if he's on base, he's got to be military, prior military, and someone had a soft spot for him. You know, a lot of soldiers would come out of mess hall and they would give him food, and he was always thankful. And I remember I was coming out and someone in my platoon had given him some food or whatever, and he took and he threw it away. And that intrigued me, because like, why would he throw it away? Like, he's clearly hungry. So I went and asked him. And he said he wasn't hungry. He wasn't homeless. Which, if you looked at him, he did look sort of, unhoused? But he said no, he said after Vietnam, he lost himself. He had flashbacks. He was dealing with some serious psychological PTSD issues, and it cost him his family. It cost him his job. It cost him everything he had going on. But the hardest thing that he never was able to really cope with was the loss of his leg, because he felt like he was not whole. He said he came on base because that itch never left him. He wanted to serve. He had waited all his life to serve, couldn't wait to serve. Did multiple tours of Vietnam. And on the one that they got him, and he lost a leg in service of this country, he was told he didn't have any more value to the military, and they let him go. And because of his own issues with that, it cost him his family and his job and his dignity. And he just wanted to be around soldiers so that because he didn't think they knew what they had. They had all this potential right here, and they didn't see the value in it. And in turn, all the soldiers with all this promise didn't see the value in him. Let's talk about it. Hello, Governor. This is Steve, nupefromdaville, and I'm here to talk to you about Doctor Who, Season 10, Episode 3, Thin Ice. Now, if you rock with me for any time, that you know that I try to do a short recap. Then I give you my personal quote, my thoughts, and then we're out. So I'm going to try again to do a very, very short recap so we can get on to personal quotes and then my thoughts. Now, this is a continuation of the last episode, Smile, and the TARDIS has dropped Bill and the doctor off in London, 1814, and the Thames River is frozen over, and they're having a frost fair on the Thames. Now, it just so happens that a little boy named Spider pickpockets, steals the doctor's sonic screwdriver, and he takes off, and Bill and the doctor in hot pursuit, they're chasing him. The little boy runs out on the ice where it says, "Don't go past this point." And then all you see, all of a sudden, these glowing lights are on the little boy's feet, and he is sucked through the ice. And he puts his hand up with the sonic screwdriver. The doctor gets the sonic screwdriver, dusts it off, and walks off. Bill is traumatized. She's like, "Oh, hell, oh." And she's really upset with the doctor because this may be her first seeing someone actually get taken out. And she's traumatized because she's like, why don't you feel any kind of way about it? She even questioned him. She's like, have you killed people? And he's like, listen, don't ask a question you don't want the answer to. So not only has he seen people, but he's killed, the doctor's body list is long. He got bodies. So the doctor and Bill catch up to another girl named Kitty who says she was paid to bring people to the fair, bring these people down onto the ice. They figure out many people have gone missing out here on the ice. So the doctor and Bill decide one night, listen, we need to dive. We need to see what's under the ice. If these little things is taking people, what the hell are they? They go down in the ice. They see these strange fish. They look like angler fish. The ones who are in the deep, where it's like pitch black, the deep dark, and they have the little light on their forehead, and they lure fish over, and then they chomp on that ass. But what they see down there is a giant sea creature. So the little angler fish, those are small, and the little light is not white, it's green. It's like fluorescent green. But they see a giant fish down there, but it's chained up, which tells the doctor that someone has done this on purpose. Someone is keeping this creature here, and there's a purpose behind this. They find out from Kitty that the person who paid them, the person behind all this, is the wealthy Lord Sutcliffe. And he is luring people on the ice to feed the beast, and the beast's waste is like a super replacement for coal. It burns longer, faster, it burns underwater, and it's going to make his family wealthy beyond belief. The doctor's like, oh, hell no, we not having this. So even though Sutcliffe sends the doctor and Bill to be eaten by the fish, the doctor manages to get Bill out, and he said he got some unfinished business. And he rigs a bomb to cause the ice to shatter, because that's what Sutcliffe, he had rigged a bomb. He wants the ice to shatter while everybody's on the ice. The doctor sends Bill, and Bill goes and gets Kitty and her friends to tell everybody get the hell off the ice. The doctor rigs the bomb to blow up, and it just so happens that Sutcliffe is on the ice, and of course he gets what is coming to him. And the doctor rigs it in a way, does the paperwork or whatever, that one of the little boys who's left with Kitty and them is the new Lord Sutcliffe, and inherits all of Lord Sutcliffe's wealth, and therefore can take in all the rest of the orphans and them have some place to live, to stay, and plenty of money to do what they want to do. When they get back, Nardo, he turns into the babysitter, and he scolds the doctor for leaving when he made an oath not to leave. Bill looks in the newspapers to find out that the orphans lived long, fulfilling lives, and Everything went great for them, but there was no mention of the sea creature at all. And when Nardo's in the basement, there's a knock that comes from inside the vault. And Nardo says, no matter what, he ain't gonna let it out. Whatever's in there, he's not letting it out, no matter if the doctor is distracted. Now, you know that I love my quotes, and today I have 2 quotes. I don't know who wrote either one of these quotes, but I think they're great. And I want to cover it from 2 different perspectives. The first one is, your value doesn't decrease based on someone else's inability to see your worth. And the second one is, you might feel worthless to one person, but that just means that you're priceless to another. Never doubt your value. I'm going to call this media therapy deep dive, value of a man. Now, even though I call this value of a man, I really mean value of a person. Because that does not mean that, only men are valuable. I'm not saying that at all. Matter of fact, the most valuable thing I know outside of the only, my kids, the most valuable thing out here is women, clearly. Just ask one, they'll tell you. Now, determining the value of a person is subjective. It's not easy to quantify. That means that you personally have to assess their qualities that contribute to a fulfilling and positive life for both them and the individuals around them. That's the only way you could talk about a person's value. And really, who are you to say that a person doesn't have value? But for the sake of this argument, we're going to talk about value as you see it. Now, the one thing about the culture is the culture will tell you that value is attributed to money. Manyan. How much of it do you have determines how valuable you are in a society. Now, anyone worth their weight in gold will tell you that that's absolutely not true. Some of the most valuable people out here are not worth much in terms of money. And some of the people with the most money on the planet are not worth much in terms of actual value. That barely registers a human being. Now the question is, how do you rate value? See, the thing in this story is Lord Sutcliffe decided, because what was most important to him was money and making his family rich, was that people didn't have value. Now, was he talking about the other nobles? No, probably not, but he said he wanted to start at the bottom of the rung, and the term that we've heard before in politics, undesirables. Homeless, orphans, professional street walking people, thugs, gangsters, pimps, all of the people who are considered the lower echelon of people in society. Doesn't mean that they don't have worth. But how do you determine a person's value? How about this? Do they have integrity and honesty? Now again, these are one of those things that you cannot determine this until you actually talk to them. You can sit back and say, I'm saying that by their profession, what they do for a living, I'm saying that they don't have any integrity. They don't have honesty, because I don't see that to be an honest profession. But that is not for you to make that determination. Unfortunately, it is done every single day. What about respect and kindness? Do they have those things? Those are important. Again, you would have to find out by actually talking to them. Most of the people that ascertain the value of other people, never speak to the people that they're ascertaining the value of. You could tell me there is a Rolls-Royce Phantom parked in your driveway. My mind will say, I know what kind of car that is, and if the car is parked in your driveway, we're talking about a $500,000 car. Now, I've never seen your car. I don't know what color it is. I don't know what color interior you got. I don't know if you got the stars in the roof. None of that. And I said, it's $500,000. I'll give you $500,000 for it. Sight unseen. I don't know anything about your car. Now, do we still have a deal when I bring you a $500,000 in cash and you give me a Rolls-Royce Phantom Hot Wheels car? No, because right there you're saying, this is not worth what I was putting up. But you didn't ask any questions. You had never seen that thing which you had already determined value for. We do that all the time. We do it by a number of ways. You judge by the clothing that people have on. People are going to have on very, very nice, expensive clothes and be broke as hell. What does that mean? Some of the nicest, some of the best put together people I've had are stuff that they got thrifting. They got from Goodwill. You do it by jobs. I remember I have personally been told that I didn't do anything because I was a teacher. And not the fact that I had other jobs. I've been an accountant. I was a soldier for the Army. I was an athlete. I've done several things. None of those things to me, none of those things have more value than the next thing. When I was a teacher, I was providing a service. It was a calling. And I was damn good at what I did. And there's not a person anywhere who got to where they did or without some teachers. You may not have paid attention to school. You may have hated school. You still needed those teachers they taught you something. He's like, I quit school and started my own business. Well, you didn't just start doing your own books or doing the math because, you just was naturally gifted at it. You learned something somewhere. Whether you got to go all the way back to kindergarten, or first, second grade and credit those teachers, you learned something from someone somewhere. Someone is teaching you. Whether it's in a classroom or non-conventionally, you have a mentor. Someone is teaching you. That is a teacher. Your first teacher is supposed to be your parents. Doesn't seem like that's a thing anymore, but that's who it's supposed to be. Do you communicate? That's part of value. Do you communicate? What is your communication style? What is your communication like? What is your emotional intelligence like? It's a big world, a lot of people in it. Are you equipped? Are you even mentally, emotionally equipped to deal with other people? Most of the time, you probably can't even deal with your own monkey ass, so dealing with other people, that's a stretch. Do you have a growth mindset? Which is very different from a fixed mindset. Growth mindset is that you can see the possibilities. Fixed mindset is you can't move past the consequences. You can see all the reasons why you shouldn't do something. Instead of a growth mindset, can't wait to explore all the reasons why you should do something. What about commitment and loyalty? Ooh, shit, I done said something right there. That's absolutely a value. Commitment and loyalty adds to your value. You have a hard time with those two, I don't know what to tell you. What are your goals like? Do you have a sense of purpose? Are you kind? Are you generous? Are you confident? Do you have high self-esteem? Can you carry a damn conversation? Is this the kind of person that you want to be in your life? There's a lot of people I've come across that, they're good for that season. But long term, and yes, you can absolutely, it doesn't have to be romantic all the time. You'd be talking about friends. All of your friends don't want the best for you. There is one of your friends right now is actively sabotaging you at this minute. And you're blessed if you don't have any friends like that. Or you could just be boring as hell. I don't know. Could be either, both. I don't know. I say all that to say that ultimately the value of a man is determined by the value of a person is determined by their character, their actions, the positive impact that they have on the lives of not only themselves, but the people around them. It's someone that you should be able to appreciate their strengths, their commitment, and their ability to create a fulfilling life. If you have people like this in your circle, hold on to them. A lot of times we get in trouble with expecting other people to be us. If I have all these characteristics, or maybe I'm missing one or two, if I gave you 100 characteristics, do you write me off because one of them I don't have together? No, but it depends on what that one is, though, doesn't it? It's hard to worry about what other people have and what they don't have. What you should focus on is, are you a person of value? Go back through my list, see what you need to work on. And ain't no such thing as, I don't know. Yes, you do. You know what your weakness is. Work on it. This is Rick Hastee, nupefromdaville. Make sure that you share this everywhere. Leave me a like. Hit the like button. And if for whatever reason, listen, don't be afraid. You might not, I don't comment on videos. Leave me a comment. What'd you think about the list? What did I miss? There's some things that add to the value of a person. I don't know them all. You might disagree with some of the things I have on the list. What did I miss? What makes a person have value? I think we all have value in some ways, but if there's a yin, there's a yang. There are great, good people out here in the world, but there are some evil, some bad people out here in the world. And it's hard to say they don't have value, but and if for whatever reason you have not subscribed yet, stop tripping, hit the button, subscribe, watch my other videos. There might be something that actually resonates with you. Remember, every video that I watch, I try to use this. But it's even more important if you use this.